Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps with Title Sports Network, and I'm joined now with the one and only Ariel Helwani. Ariel, this is our first interview. Yeah. I'd like to say hello first and foremost.
Hello, yes, I'm just wondering why. Why so long?
Can I be honest?
Do you not like me? I see you talk to all the jabronis out there, but not me. Why is that?
So the last 2 times that I've stood in line for you. It stood in line. So you kind of got like the Eddie Hearn effect going on at the moment, as you can tell.
I'm a better promoter than Eddie, by the way. I can run circles around him if I wanted to, but I don't want to.
Yeah, the line keeps getting longer and longer, and every time I'm there, I'm like, damn, he's probably going to end up saying no at some point. So
no, I don't usually say no, but honestly, like, there's no one here anymore. I feel like I'm promoting this card better than MVP. Where is everyone? Where did they all go?
I have no idea. Usually some people stick around.
Well, you're stuck with me.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time, nonetheless. Okay, you've obviously covered Jake Paul's boxing career pretty much from the start.
Yeah.
Are you a bit surprised as to how far he's been able to sort of take this? Because everybody initially thought of it sort of as like a gimmick.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, yes. I'm not necessarily surprised that he's doing it like right now, but like if you would have talked to me maybe after the Tommy Fury loss, I would have said, yeah, like here's the difference. If you lose and you lose the fire or whatever when you're, a guy who's coming up, all right, you may go do something else. He's already paid. Like, he's already rich. He doesn't have to do this. The whole thing about, like, losing your sort of fire when you're older, when you're waking up in silk sheets and all that stuff, that may come later on. But, like, he started this journey waking up in silk sheets. And so I thought, all right, you lost. It was a nice run. Now let me go do something else. Let me start my businesses or whatever. And he came back, and he came back better than he did prior to that loss. So I was very surprised, but now I'm not doubting it anymore. Like, I think even if he loses on Saturday, he's going to keep fighting.
Right.
He's in this for at least the foreseeable future.
Do you think that a big part of the reason he continues to do it, regardless win or loss, is the fact that he likes to prove people wrong? He likes to kind of get under people's skin. Everyone's always mentioning him, like Conor McGregor. Right. You have like Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz, who, everyone's wanting to talk about Jake Paul. Do you think that he just sort of likes sort of being the rebel child?
To a degree, yes. I also think it's very lucrative. He makes a lot of money doing this. I think he enjoys it. I think it has changed his life. I think he likes the training and then the events and finding, new talent like H2O and Shadeja and obviously linking up with Amanda Serrano, etc. And look at the opportunities that are coming his way. Like, he was supposed to fight on Netflix this weekend. That's gigantic. And so I think he just loves everything about the fight game, and I think a lot of people thought this would be like a pit stop. Maybe like how Logan treated his boxing career, and that's not a knock. He found something greater in WWE, but I think a lot of people thought, okay, it would be a couple fights and he would move on. And look at him, you can't knock the guy. And especially, like, he could have sat out and waited until November for the Tyson. This is a big risk to fight a guy like Mike Perry, or he could have fought like some tomato can. Mike is not a tomato can, so I give him credit.
When you're up there too, you kind of have to, deal with a few of the comments that the fighters make yourself. What do you make of that? Sometimes being sort of dragged into some of the altercation.
Now, I don't necessarily mind it, but if I'm being 1,000% honest with you, like, I don't actually like doing that. I'm just being honest because I don't think that I'm the best person up there. I think there are better people up there, and so I just try to be myself and not try to act like someone else. I'm not a promoter, even though I'm better than the Eddie Hearns of the world at promoting. I tried to tell him to switch up the press conferences and to take a page from my brain, but like, he doesn't want to listen to me, so whatever. Go ahead. Look, there were fans here. At least there was some, energy. Yeah. I hate how the boxing press conferences have no energy, and there's all these people talking on and on and on, and how the main eventers get to talk last. I went to the main eventers first. They're the stars of the show. In any event, it's fun, but I don't think it's my bread and butter.
Well, I would disagree.
Oh, I appreciat that. That's very nice. You thought I did okay?
Yeah. I didn't never once thought you did badly.
Yeah.
I think if somebody thought, probably not so, but that never crossed my mind.
I appreciate that.
You're doing great.
Great.
Yeah.
Better than Eddie.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to say better than Eddie. Eddie, I don't want to get blacklisted from any of his events. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Do you feel that Jake Paul sort of has this, and hear me out first, this Floyd Mayweather effect in regards to people are buying his pay-per-views because they want to see him lose?
To a degree. I really do think he has fans as well, especially the younger demographic. I think the tricky thing with Jake has always been his audience. They're very savvy. and they tend to sometimes skirt the pay-per-view system. And so I think a lot more people are watching these fights than the numbers suggest.
Okay, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And so that's the tricky balance. I think this one is at an appropriate price, but that's why I thought the Netflix thing was going to be so fascinating, because that wasn't going to be pay-per-view. So all those people would have watched because everyone has Netflix. So that, I think, has always been the interesting thing for him to figure out. But yes, of course, when it's him versus MMA, all the MMA fans want to see him get his butt whipped. And I think there's some traditional boxing people who would like for him to go away, which I think is so silly, by the way, because look at the opportunities he's given to Amanda Serrano, to H2O, to Shadasia Green. Like, these are all legitimate boxers. How could you say that he's been bad for boxing?
And a lot of people don't even know that. I was actually surprised when I mentioned this recently. A lot of people don't know that he has actually given up a part of his own purse to sort of pay the undercard fighters.
Yes, and in Puerto Rico, he gave up his purse, and he gave it to charity, to the Boxing Bullies charity that he has over there. So I don't see any harm that he's done for boxing. It's only been good. And like, look at this card. You could say, like, obviously Perry is Perry, but like the only non-traditional boxer is Uriah Hall. That's it. Everyone else are legit boxers, pro boxers with, you know, great records. So this isn't like, I don't consider this influencer boxing. I don't know about you. You've been doing this a long time. This is not an influencer boxing fight. And that's not a knock on influencer, but it's just a completely different thing that he's doing now. And so I think he's been great for the sport.
Let's talk a bit about the fight that was supposed to be this weekend, now moved to, what was it, November 16th? 15th? 15th.
Friday.
Oh, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. So yeah, November 15th. A lot of people were quite upset to learn that the fight was being sanctioned as a professional fight, not an exhibition. Do you want to give your opinion on that?
Sure. I was surprised. Well, first of all, I'll be 100% honest with you. Like, I was surprised when they told me that it's Mike Tyson next. I was like, what? Like, I didn't believe them. Because also he was going down this path of Andre August, Ryan Borland. So it was like, okay, now you're actually going down like a real like boxing path. Like just like, you know, no-name guys building yourself up. And then it's like to the left, Mike Tyson. So I was surprised. And then I thought, okay, maybe it would be an exhibition. I never believed the headgear stuff and all that. That was all BS. And then Texas, you know, they felt comfortable sanctioning, and we'll see what happens for the November fight. But yeah, I mean, anyone who says they weren't surprised is probably lying.
Good idea, bad idea, no comment?
No, I mean, this is going to sound like I'm sitting on the fence, but it's the truth, and I would say it if, you know, I wasn't involved in any capacity, and I don't know if I'm going to be involved, to be honest. I have like a weight, like I don't know. I feel like I don't know how to feel about it. Do you know what I mean?
No, I do.
I don't really know. It's so complicated. Like, I remember when the fight got announced and we were in Riyadh for the Ngannou Joshua fight, and everyone's like, what do you think? What do you think? Is this a sham? Is this? And I'm like, I don't even know how to process this right now, you know, as opposed to, like, and here we are 4 months later, and I'm still not quite sure what to make, because of course it got delayed. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'll tell you this. If he loses to Mike Perry on Saturday, I don't see where the appeal is in that fight. I really think this is a gigantic risk. If Mike Perry knocks him out on Saturday, or even like outclasses him, who's watching that fight? Do you agree?
No, I would actually disagree. I think that people still would, just for the simple factor that I think,
Tyson?
Yeah, that it's Tyson.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
I mean, because we could say that after the Tyson loss, that he would have. I'm not Tyson.
Fury.
Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Tommy Fury loss. That you could argue that he would have stopped fighting then, or maybe moved elsewhere. But there's still an appeal there.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, I thought that he was maybe going to stop after that fight. But if he gets knocked out by Mike Perry, you think, I don't know, maybe it's more about Tyson than it is about him. But I think it's a very great possibility that, like, the interest in that fight will go down. If he gets starched on Saturday, which I don't think is going to happen, to be honest. I do think it goes the distance, and I think it'll be a hard-fought battle. But I think there's a huge gamble at play here.
Lastly, Turki Al-Sheikh has mentioned potentially wanting to create some sort of league, sort of eliminating what we're currently having, the problems we're having now with all the sanctioning bodies, making it difficult to create the fights that we want to see happen in boxing, different network issues, so forth. What is your thoughts on him trying to sort of create I wouldn't entirely say a UFC model, but something similar to that?
Look, what he's doing now is unbelievable. The fact that, who would have thought that he'd ever get Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren to be singing Kumbaya on a stage, right? Not to mention all the other stuff that he's doing. I mean, look at this card coming up on August 3rd. It's like you got like David Morrell there and Andy Cruz there and Jared Anderson there and Andy Ruiz there. It's like a total Terrence Crawford, Madrimov. It's a hodgepodge of different promoters coming together. I think the one in December had like 11 promoters coming together. I mean, it's madness. So it's amazing. And if you're a boxing fan, you know, you see how boxing fans speak of him. It's incredible what he's done. And the best thing is, like, you could tell he's like a genuine fan, you know, like he loves Mark Chamberlain, you know, like you got to be like a hardcore fan to love guys like that. And so it's cool to see, and I'm curious to see where they go from here. And I think it's great for American fans and British fans that there's now a LA card, a London card, because let's be honest, it's hard to go to Riyadh every time. And I think those crowds are going to be great. So I'm really looking forward to that. I really wanted to be there, but unfortunately, and this is a flex on my part, I will be covering the Olympics. I'm going on Tuesday to Paris. So I think I'm actually going to be the only person who will say that he'll cover Jake Paul, Mike Perry, and the Olympics.
Wow.
I don't know if there's...
Right.
Do you think there'll be anyone who's gone to both?
Well, we're about to find out.
Okay, so I won't be there on August 3rd, but I will be watching, and I look forward to it.
Sorry, I meant one more question for you, just because it's rumored. Canelo versus Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah.
Kind of threw us off a little bit.
I'm down.
Didn't expect that one coming,
Yeah.
but that's the one that's being
Can I
rumored
tell
for
you?
next.
I'll take that. I like that fight. I like Chris a lot. Chris versus Canelo, give me that. And then when Crawford beats Madrimov, give me Crawford versus Boots. And then maybe the winners could fight down the line. But I'd much rather see Crawford Boots than Crawford Canelo right now.
Well, Canelo doesn't have much interest in Terrence Crawford fight anyways.
Yeah?
No.
Says who?
He has. He's the one who's basically
Turkey comes
said.
and brings out a freaking...
Turkey already did.
Yeah. I don't know.
He did. Turkey has. And
He brought the truck to his house. He brought it. Here's $100 million.
I wouldn't say it's probably a formal offer, but the talks have been there, and apparently Canelo has said, I have absolutely no interest.
All right. Well, okay. So maybe he'll have interest in the Eubank fight. I'd like that.
Yeah.
I like the Munguia fight too. I know a lot of people didn't like it. Obviously, the one we all want to see is Benavidez, but you know, maybe
Next
one
year,
day.
maybe?
Maybe one day.
Yeah, all right.
Inshallah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Lovely to finally speak with you.
thank
Hopefully,
you.
next
I'm glad
time if
the
you see
ban
me
is
in a
over.
line, kind
No
of doing this, it's like
Deal.
maybe we'll. Okay.
Deal.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, fight fans.